When will the price of copper, or the CPER ETF, rise again? Hey everyone, Serge Berger here from thestudytrader.com, and what I'd like to share with you today is one of our absolute favorite ideas. Some of you may be familiar with our theme on hard assets, on materials, as there's a tremendous sort of imbalance between supply and a crazy amount of demand that basically is just going up through the lens of demand for energy coming from rebuilding of nations, from just rebuilding of, let's say, the US electricity grid, to, of course, AI, which is it's another set of demand on top of already what is crazy demand. So there's a massive imbalance. And the question really is, when will things like the price of copper start to rise again? So what I thought I would do is give you a little bit of perspective. First of all, without going too much detail into this, these are always our very short videos to give people an idea. I just quickly show you a chart, and basically studying sort of technical analysis or classic price behavior. One would have to make the assumption, until otherwise proven wrong, that this is essentially a bullish pattern that ultimately would resolve to the upside, which kind of would look like this. Now, of course, it hasn't yet done so. So the question is, when could this possibly happen? Well, we need to have a little bit of perspective about what drives sort of the more nearer term, outside of the fundamentals of the price of copper, and a lot of it has to do with its correlation to yields. So what I did here is I took the price of copper, which is the purple line, the actual line, and I essentially kind of overlaid it to the price of 10-year U.S. Treasury yields. And of course, U.S. Treasury yields have been coming down all year for the most part, since they were up as high as 4.8%. They went down recently as low as about 4.1. That's a 70 basis points move. It's a giant move, lower in bond yields, higher in bond prices, and this basically because of a growth scare that we're currently experiencing. We'll see if this turns into something bigger. I don't know. Honestly, there's too much narratives out there to really make a clear call, but that's also what you can see has for the most part coincided with a somewhat lower prices in copper. It also is notable, however, that, and again, this could still continue, but it is notable that the price of copper is actually holding in there rather well. In fact, if we go back, considering where yields are, if we go back to, and we're looking at copper futures here, but one could certainly look at this through the lens of just the CPER ETF. In fact, this one here is the price of copper. It's already showing the futures in today's price action. But if I were to show you CPER, the ETF, you can see, yes, we've come off, but it's not like we're totally falling apart. Whereas if you compare this to 10-year yields, they've had a much bigger move. That's what I was showing you before on that previous chart right there, right? So you can see it a bit more clearly. But actually, as I'm recording this here right now, and this may be a bit too immediate term for people to watch and catch this, but actually copper, as I'm watching this right now, copper futures actually up 4.5%. That's a pretty meaningful move. So anyway, there you have it. Hopefully a bit of perspective of what kind of drives the near term in copper. We actually think there's going to be potential price spikes, price shocks to the upside as people start to realize the imbalance here that is just growing worse and worse and worse between the supply on one hand, which is low, and the demand, which is just absolutely ginormous. So hope it helps. See you in the next video.